Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the channel where I assist aspiring and practicing project managers by answering their questions, by teaching new concepts, by also solving project management issues. My name is Oscar Mbira. I'm a certified program and project manager. In this video, I'm going to take you through the 10 critical roles that must exist in a program or in a project scenario. In this video, we're going to learn the 10 roles that must exist in a project or program. This is very, very important. So we're going to look at project roles. So there are a number of roles that you find in most programs or in most projects. Two of them, they are very important and they cannot be shared, which means you can only have one of them in every project. So the first one we are going to look into is called executive role. So number one, we have executive role. Okay? Executive role, you might want to call them sponsor. Some they want to call them sponsor or even co-sponsor if it has been delegated to them. So there can only be one executive role in every program or project. You cannot have two. This is one of the few roles where you cannot share. So you have only one executive. So why should you have an executive? This one must have a business perspective. Business perspective is the responsibility of the executive. You must also be decisive and having authority and the courage to make even very difficult decisions. So must have authority or even courage to make decisions. In most cases, an executive of the project is the one who also leads the project board. So you find this one also leads project board. So project board is the highest authority in every project. There are also members who are assigned to a project board. We're going to look into a few of them as we go through this video. So there can only be one. You cannot have more than one executive in every program or in every project. Number two, we have a program or project manager. This role cannot be shared. You cannot have multiple project managers. You can only have one project manager or one program manager. So executive and program manager or project manager, you can only have one person. You cannot have two main people. You cannot have two main roles. So what is expected of a program or project manager? These are responsible for day-to-day running of the project. So the day-to-day running of the project or program is done by the program manager or the project manager. So you can only have one, okay? Let me use a different color here to indicate. So this one cannot, it's only one. This one, it's only one. It cannot be shared. So this is very, very important. So the day-to-day running of the project is delegated to the project manager. Number three, we have the business representatives. This is different from this one. This one is an executive or sponsor of the project, but we can have multiple. So I'll put M for multiple. You can have multiple business representatives who also sits on the project board. For example, you can have operations, executives or representative, or even technical, and then the general business representatives. I'm going to call them rep. Okay? So this is one of the important roles. These have got also a business perspective, and you can have multiple of them depending on the organization. In some organizations, you'll find they have technical representation, operations representation, business representation, marketing, and so on and so forth. Number four, we have what we call customers or users in a project. So we call them user or customer. So this can also be multiple. So I'm going to put M for multiple. So what do we mean by user? Most of the projects, they have intentions. Intentions is either to improve the current service, to produce a new product, or to produce a new service, or even just to create a specific result, or even some documentation, or to improve any process. So the beneficiaries of this activity or this project, we call them users or customers in project management. Okay? So these ones are the ones who are going to certify the products, if you're going to produce products or service, or they're going to use, these are going to use the product or even the service. So they must be represented in the project. You can have multiple customers, but you can choose what is called a senior customer to represent all the other customers or users on a project body. So we can have what is called a senior customer, okay, to represent all the other customers. Number 5, we have supplier. So what do you mean by supplier? Here we are talking of the responsible participants to produce the product, to produce the service, or even to help in the running of the project. So these ones are supposed to complete the project, or product or deliverables of the project. Okay? You can also have multiple of these, but like I said, for customer, you can also have a senior supplier to represent all these suppliers. This is very common in most projects. Then, number 6, also what is very important is what is called a change authority. So if the project board does not want to delegate the changes to or change decision to be made by project manager or program manager, they create what is called a change authority. So this is change authority. Very important. Some they want to call them change control body or CCB. Change control body. Okay, or CCB. They approve all the changes in the project. It might be cost, it might be technical changes, it might be even milestone changes. They approve them. They approve all changes. That cannot be delegated to the project manager. Number 7, we also have what is called project assurance. This is one of the important roles again. So project assurance, what exactly do they do? They want to make sure that there's correct information, okay, that is being shared to the project members or project board. They also make sure that things are done the right way. Okay? They make sure that things are done the right way. Then number 8, we have what is called project support. This role mainly is for administrative work. So in a project or program, you don't want to burden the project manager or to burden the program manager by doing administrative work, which means repetitive work. For example, booking of flights, for example, creation of some reports, for example, storage of documentation on some folder or some network. That cannot be done by project manager. A project manager or program manager must be focusing on executing the project or the program. Then all this administrative stuff or administrative issues, you give them to the project support. Some they want to call them PA for project administrator. Then number 9, also, which is very important, is the team managers or the team leaders. So you have a team lead or manager. So why do we need this role in a program or project? A project manager cannot be managing the whole team. I've been in projects where we had more than 200 people. So as a project manager, there was no way I was going to manage 200 people. So what I had to do was to put the 200 people into specific teams with a team lead or team manager who is going to be able to manage those team members on a daily basis as they focus to deliver the project product and deliverables. Okay, so they lead the teams. They also formulate strategies to deliver project deliverables. They formulate strategies to deliver. Okay? Then, number 10, we have what we call team members. So, team members. So, a project lead or project manager is going to have team members. These ones, they execute project activities. So any project activity that has to be done, the team members will also execute. If you check my channel, I have also another video on the structure of this. You can also watch it. I hope you have enjoyed this video so far. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button so that you are the first person to be notified each time a new video is uploaded on this channel. So let us recap these 10 roles that are very critical for any project or program. The first one is executive. Executive is also known as a co-sponsor or a sponsor. Executive must have a business perspective, representing the business. Executive is always appointed by the organization during the start of the project, or when the mandate to run the project is initiated, they appoint executive. Sometimes the executive and the project manager are appointed at the same time. But if the executive is the only role that has been appointed, they also have the authority to appoint the program manager. They also have authority and the courage to make decisions in a project. Even hard decisions, they will make them. They also lead the project board. You find that in most projects or programs, the executive is the chair of the project board, and they have authority, delegated authority to run the project. The second role is program or project manager. This cannot be shared. This can only be one person assigned to this role, either a project or program manager, making day-to-day decisions on the program or on the project. So these are the only two roles where you find that they are not being shared. The other roles can have multiple participants, but executive, program, or project manager, it's only one role. Then you have business. Business, you have people or participants who are representing the business. They might come from operations, they might come from technical, they might also come from any business representation. They represent the business interest in the project. Then we have users or customers. These are the final beneficiary of the project. It could be out of an improved service, it could be out of a new program, it could be out of a new product, it could be out of a new service. So these are the ones who certify that the project produced the required product or service. We might want to call them users or customers. They also use the end product of the project, so they have to be represented. These ones can be multiple, depending on the type of the project, the intentions of the project, and also the objectives of the project. Then number 5, we have supplier. This also can be multiple. This is the role. This is the role where they're expected to produce the product. They're expected to provide all the deliverables. Then we have the change authority. Change authority is responsible for approving any changes which have not been delegated to the project manager. So this is also a very important role. I've seen in some projects, they miss this role. It's quite important. Then number 7, we have the project assurance. This role ensures that all the information that is getting to project body or the executive is correct and representative of what is on the ground. They also make sure that things are done properly. Best practice in project management is also being applied in the project. So it's a very important role also. Then number 8, we have the project support. This project support role is very important to lessen the burden on the program or project manager by working on the administrative work, which is not supposed to be done by project or program manager. They are supposed to focus on executing the project. Number 9, we have the team leads and team managers. Most projects, they might have different teams coming into the project, sometimes internal to the organization, sometimes external to the organization. So that team will come with their manager or their team lead to make sure that at least there's some coordinated work during the project. So they are responsible for leading their team. They also strategize on how to execute and provide the required deliverables of the project. The last one, we have team members. Number 10, they are responsible for executing project activities. So the team lead is responsible for leading the team members. So these are the 10 most critical roles that you need in a program or in a project. We have reached the end of this video. I hope you have learned a lot of things. If you want me to create additional videos based on the key roles that we have looked into in this video, let me know in the comment section below.